Let's get nuts.
Nice. How are you?
That never gets old. Good lad. How are you?
Great, man.
No crack.
When are you back? The 4th, did you say?
Back to 6th, yeah.
6th.
So the 6th, which is a Saturday. So I'll probably be back in Limerick for about 9 o'clock that night, I'd say.
Right.
So, my way's the weather.
It's a bit miserable now. It's getting Christmassy around here, though. You know.
Is there supposed to be any snow coming on or anything? No.
I don't think so. I haven't really followed the weather, to be honest with you. I just go off what people tell me.
Yeah. Tis a bit weird here. Like, you would hear the Christmas tunes on the radio, and it's fucking 28, 29 degrees. Like,
mad. Christmas tunes there.
Christmas tunes, yeah. But see, there's a radio station here, and it's all English and Australians and all that are presenting. There's this fella Mario Lopez. Do you ever watch like Americans Got Talent or US X Factor?
I know him from the days of Saved by the Bell.
That's what he was on. Yeah, he was. He's a presenter actually here on Radio 92 as well, the Boy 92.
Go away.
Ardham Jerde. And funny enough, right, he brought up, it was just random, it wasn't even part of a news segment or nothing. And he said he was just having Joe like the usual kind of cheesy fucking banter with his host on the radio. A female, she was American, I think she was American. And he was like, "Oh, I can't wait to go home and watch the new documentary on Amazon Prime called The Age of Disclosure." And he says it just gets, and they weren't even talking anything in the ballpark of UFOs. And he goes, "I just think it's hugely interesting that this documentary now basically has all these high-ranking military officials and governmental officials coming out, putting their neck on the line, saying that we have extraterrestrial craft that the government have been, or these black projects have been reverse engineering for 80 years. And it's basically like a race between all the elite countries to who can actually get the technology, I suppose, reverse engineered to the level that they can utilize it." And he says this is the one that'll blow it wide open. It's given the most amount of, I suppose, evidence. And then you're one on the show, like she was just saying, "Oh yeah, cool, yeah," and she just changes the subject in onto something else, just something stupid. Like, I'm just like, "Oh, just leave your man, just say what he wants to say for a few minutes."
I think that's like a traditional Thanksgiving reaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
People at Thanksgiving used to bring this shit up, and then
I suppose like the Christmas dinner table, which I suppose the likes of us.
What do you make of it?
Shut up. The likes of us would be told shut up at the Christmas table, coming out with all our shit. I didn't watch it yet. To be honest, I haven't watched it yet. I'm married to watch it, but I must just set aside an evening to watch it. But I suppose it's not new to what I've been hearing from all podcasts and all down through the years.
Yeah.
And so I was listening to a podcast there the other day. That director of that documentary, he was on Joe Rogan, and he actually wants to make another documentary about remote viewing, because he said that he got fairly close with Hal Puthoff. So Hal Puthoff is a physicist, I think, but he was part of this team back in the early 2000s. Was that George Bush, or was it before George Bush? He basically put together this task team, and he set the task of, okay, I need there to be a scientific study in the possibility, or the different possibilities that would occur if alien, UFOs, UAP, if all that was disclosed, what kind of effect would it have on the public? So basically, they came together and they studied it, and they came out with all these different probabilities, and they came with this score that basically showed that it would be harmful for the public to disclose all this in a number of different things, like down to just religion, the stock market, um, yeah, just society, like, and it just have a negative impact. So that's the result that he said this. He came out and he said that he was part of this study, part of this research,
Mm.
and that's probably one of the reasons why there isn't disclosure so far. Plus, I think, and from what they'll be saying is all US presidents are like caretakers. Like we said this as well before ourselves. They come in every 4 years, might be in there 8 years if they're lucky. That's it, they're gone. Like they're already told what they need to know. And if they are told about aliens, it's probably bare minimum fucking level shit that wouldn't even really strike a wave in the public if it came out.
Mm.
And I think that it's the deeper, I suppose, members of like these NSA and CIA and FBI, the people that have been in these positions and within these organizations for 30, 40 years that have this information and they're safeguarding it. But basically, what this director said in the interview anyway, was that we've talked about this before as well. There's this black budget stuff, and that's where all this billions and trillions are going missing to. Like that 2 trillion was it that went missing around 9/11? That wasn't accounted during in the Pentagon when the Pentagon was hit, and that was the room apparently where all the fucking what's the word I'm looking for? All the auditing was going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of that carry on with NASA as well, isn't there? Like there's a lot of suspicion that they're getting so much money, and they're not really producing much for it.
Yeah, but then like you've these black projects that are working, and you've like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and there's a couple of others that basically are getting this budget from the black projects in the government. But even though the president and his administration mightn't even be aware of it, you know, and the whole thing is they're in a weapons race with China, with Russia, and all these other countries, and because they're all reverse engineering their own crafts that they found. And he said through all different evidence of stories, through all these, I suppose, respected figures, that some of them have crashed down through the years, these ET crafts that have been recovered, and there's some of them that were just like parked outside military bases, and they call them donations.
Oh, mad.
Yeah. So, and apparently there's something like there's 4 species that they know of, 4 species of aliens, and they have been in contact with fucking humans basically.
Yeah.
And there was multiple meetings down through the years with actually government representatives with these aliens. Basically.
That's mad. Yeah, I heard your man Stephen Greer talk about all the different types there the other day, and he was talking about some that I'd never heard of. Like,
so I heard of the Nordics. The Nordics are like the tall, beautiful-looking humans. And then
he was saying everyone's always on about the reptilians or something like that.
Reptilians as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was saying that the Greys weren't really what people think they are as well. They're a little bit different as well.
I've heard that the Greys might actually not be biological, that they could be like AI. Basically, they're AI robots that work for the Nordics, I think, or the reptilians. I think it's for the Nordics. And
mad.
Yeah. But then Jason on the show reckons that they might be future us or past humans. So
I've heard that one as well. And then there's what did he say? He said there was some that they're like dolphins. Did you hear that one? They're like fish heads. There was some fucking cartoon the kids were watching here the other day, and it was like fucking dolphins astronaut dolphins in space or something. I was looking, going, what kind of fucking mad shit is this like? And then a couple of
Yeah.
days later, Stephen Greer talking about fish type aliens
He
in space.
are you listening to his podcast, or is it just clips you're finding
No, I just
on
saw a
Instagram?
clip.
Yeah, because he's this podcast as well, and he's well, it's only out since the summer, I think. But I seen there, I was following it, but I didn't listen to an episode, I don't think. But I just had it set as a notification just to see, because he's always coming up with stuff, and it's hard to know is he a plant or not. But then he's saying that he has a dead man's, what do they call that? Dead man's fucking,
Where he's kind of protected if something happens to him.
yeah. It did, yeah. So basically, he has all this information that if he does, something does happen to him, it'll all be released and it'll turn everything upside down. But supposedly, he's had members of his team down through the years that have been have lost their clearances, and they've been threatened. And like he's multiple times on camera when he's telling this story, he's started crying, kind of. And he's been heavily involved in that Boogosphere, into the Boogosphere. So that Jonosphere, it's all over on the internet now the last couple of months. But yeah, so he came out there in his Instagram a couple of months ago, and he said, look, this is something that just has to be said straight away. He says it's kind of like an emergency, kind of like a broadcast. But he said, we just had someone that was falsely dressed as a cop, and they tried to steal the fucking Boogosphere.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I don't know. Look, I don't know. He's kind of, I don't know what to make of likes of him, but he's all into the the 0 point energy as well, and he was setting up this kind of system where bringing people forward that had these inventions that could look towards maybe that 0 point energy. So the likes of John Mayer, isn't it? We talked about him before.
Stanley Meyer.
So Stanley Meyer, sorry, I keep calling him John. But people like that, and kind of give them this kind of protection where if they do come forward and if they are willing to make their work open source for the whole planet to copy, and then that's the best way that they can get it out there, and that he can offer them protection. But yeah, that's kind of thing that he's looking into too, and then he looks into the CE5. So that's the contact, close encounter of the fifth kind. So when you're basically summoning UFOs with your consciousness and lasers, and you've all these what do they call them? Do you know when you have these kind of like steps? I forget the term, but yeah. Like, do you remember when we were talking to Chris Gaffney, and I put it towards him about Stephen Greer, and he was saying that he's a good man, he's doing a lot of good work. So obviously Chris is someone that's deep into it, like, you know. So maybe he is actually doing, because he was a public doctor before. He was just like what you call them doctors, public
GP?
doctor. A GP, sorry. General practitioner.
Yeah.
And he was on like a 6-figure salary, and whatever intel he got anyway, and he just kind of got fucking stuck into it about UFOs and aliens, disclosure and all that, and he just left it all behind. Now he's making documentaries and stuff, and he's making money off it, you know. But he keeps saying disclosures coming and all this and that, and sure, this is going on for the last 30 years with him. Like,
I know, yeah. That's one thing that we get in the realm that we're in, is, you know, people constantly promising, you know, that something amazing is about to happen, something is about to be revealed, the truth is about to come out, you know, and never does really.
Funnily enough, actually, I sent off an email to Carl Nelly and to Carl Nelly and what's the other gentleman's name again? Dermot, isn't it? Carl Nelly and Carl Nelly and Dermot, basically. Dermot, I forget Dermot's surname. Jimbo Chris was telling us about them, that they have books written and that they're UFO investigators. Now I found our website and it changed changed the website. So I sent him an email the other day. It'd be great if they got back onto us and they could come on the show. And I just gave a look up on YouTube. I told you this. Remember, I sent it to you the other day, and they were on the morning show.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that one
yeah,
on-
yeah,
was it TV3?
I never watched
And
it, but yeah.
yeah, so he was actually on. I'll share my screen there now and I'll show you. He was on with that lady. Hold on now. So share screen again. He was on that with that lady that I didn't hear of before, and Chris Gaffney was on about, but she's passed away now. But she's very well spoken. Window morning show. This lady. So at the stage, because I was fucking that up to that last day. Okay, you can see it there now, yeah?
Yeah.
This lady, Betty Myler. But you kind of have to laugh at this. I just played the start of it. It's about 20 minutes long. I know I didn't watch it fully, but like, I remember even Chris was saying it like that. Joe, when you're talking to the media like this, just like to take the piss and play the fucking background music to like the X-Files. And this is
Yeah.
I'll just show you the start of it.
But the yo-yo is back. So hopefully we'll see it in our toy stores.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think I was. I might have been a bit,
what's
bit
going to happen?
young for
It'll
the
come
yo-yo.
back into schoolyards and then it'll be banned because there'll be yo-yo related injuries, the same as conkers and all that sort of things. The schools will have to say, sorry, can't have them anymore. Black eyes, teeth falling out, the usual.
Okay, well listen, from yo-yos to our show today, which is very interesting. A few weeks back, footage was sent in to us by a viewer, and he claims now that this footage was shot in Dublin on New Year's Day. Now we're going to roll it for you there with a bit of spooky music, and you guys at home can make up your own minds. Tell us what you think.
Straight away with the fucking X-Files.
Yeah. What year was this?
I think this video was something like 10 or 11 years ago, or 9 years ago or something, but it could have been older, like, you know? Right. So that's
quite similar to that orb stuff that we saw this year as well.
Yeah, I leave this roll, okay, I leave this play because they do actually, Carl Nally actually thinks that this is fake.
Fake.
It's actual footage because he's seen similar footage to it, but he's not sure if it's the exact one. But no, the lady presenter seems just taking the piss out of it, but your man, the male presenter, actually seems like he's actually interested in it. Let's see, you know. But like that's before a time when Starlink is only the last couple of years. Do you know? Let's skip on a bit.
What do you think of that? About the prevalence of UFOs and their own experiences of them are Carl
Turn it up slightly if you can.
Paranormal Research Ireland, and Betty Mailer, the president of UFO Society of Ireland. You're both very welcome this morning. What do you think of that footage that we've just shown? First, you, Carl.
My colleague rang me last night in relation. Now, I don't know whether it's this footage or not, but footage that was shown allegedly over the Liffey, flying up to Liffey on New Year's Day. If this is the same footage, it's a fake. And it was airbrushed out, the buildings behind it, and that's why it may. Now, it could be wrong. I'll have to check that, but I'll check it this week. So I'll have to hold back my opinion on that until I check it out.
Would you be very good now, Carl, at detecting what was a fake and what was real at this point? Because I mean, you must get footage sent to you all the time.
Yeah, and it's getting harder, and it's getting harder because technology in relation to fake footage is really top
It's
class.
easier to make it up and make fakes appear realistic.
This is before fucking AI knows all like.
Has the special equipment needed. So if we get footage sent to us, we'll send it on to him and get his opinion.
And Betty, is that always the problem? People, the minute I see that, you know, the initial reaction is to be skeptical about it and to have your doubt and say we can explain it away some way.
It is, but I'll just give you an example. 31st of December last year, there was a man in Drogheda and they were watching the fireworks. They were out in the garden. The whole of Drogheda was out there watching the fireworks. And above the fireworks, he saw these two white lights going in formation. And they were going very, very slowly. And then suddenly a third one came and joined them. He thought that was very strange. And he sent me a picture of that. He went in to get his camera. And then he saw another two flying in formation and another one coming suddenly. Now, this is an ordinary man. He wouldn't be fooling around. He was genuinely watching the fireworks. That's what he went out for. He wasn't watching for UFOs. But when two lights go in formation together, it's not a satellite. It's not an International Space Station. It's not a meteor. What else could it be? The other day, I was on a radio station and somebody had seen this big red ball going through the sky. And they approached Astronomy Ireland. Astronomy Ireland said it was a fireball. Could very well have been a fireball. I won't discount that. I wouldn't go against Astronomy Ireland because they're more scientific than I am. But apparently, this is in the Sligo area, and the ball sort of disappeared like into the sea of Sligo. So I just take everything with a pinch of salt. But when you get proof that you see lights traveling together, in formation, this is the thing. Sometimes they're two in formation with a third one following. Sometimes they're three
And I mean,
in formation.
given the night that was in it, you
Yeah, I leave it there. But yeah, I must actually watch it. But like again, that's before Starlink, and I remember I told you that story that I was driving out for soccer training there a couple of years ago, and I seen these, I don't know, 4 or 5 lights that were basically linear in a linear pattern. I said, "What the fuck is that?" Now, I knew about Starlink at this stage, and I heard stories about people seeing, but I never actually seen the satellite train myself. So I pulled
That's
up
what
at
you
the
saw,
side of
wasn't it?
Yeah. So I pulled up at the side of the road, and they were just like moving in the same kind of, I suppose, speed, and they were shrinking in sync with each other.
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and it was a Starlink train, and you could actually see. You can Google a satellite tracker for Starlink, and you could even do it yourself there out the back of the house. You'll see it in frequent, I suppose, in 10-minute frequency of each other. You'll see something flash out over your head,
Way.
and you'll think, if you were to look up, it just looks like a star that's moving. And yeah, it's one of them Starlink satellites. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know what you make of that whole thing.
Well, like when it comes to the disclosure thing, like when you were saying there a while ago that, you know, there's kind of, it's almost like a Cold War race between all the superpowers who want to crack this technology, reverse engineer it, and have their fucking anti-gravity tech or whatever. But it's mad how, you know, all these apparent enemies again, they all keep the secret from the public, you know. So like if Russia or China are supposed to be in this race with America, they're all kind of, they have a gentleman's agreement not to tell their own people what's actually going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it seems to me like, you know, we could actually have a one world government right now, and these could just all these countries could just be sort of pretend enemies and stuff, you know, because when it comes to any major event, any historical event, you know, and in terms of medicine and stuff, like they all seem to be on the same page, singing off the same hymn sheet, you know. You don't have a situation, for example, like in America still today, apparently they're teaching kids in high school that JFK was assassinated by Oswald, and that was it. You know, that bullshit story is still the official narrative, but it's also the official narrative in Russia. Like the Russians aren't teaching their public that that was a different story, you know.
Yeah, great point actually. Yeah, it seems like they're in unison. Like, just as well. Oh yeah. So the director, in that interview with Joe Rogan, he was saying that he was told by whatever members of these organizations that the technology is there, and he put the question forward, well, how come this technology isn't brought out during wars, down through the years when America was in Afghanistan, and the story to crack what's going on over in Ukraine and things on. He says, and what the answer he was given was, unless it's a World War III event, or if the countries themselves are being invaded and then with their own weaponry that is open to the public, that the public have seen, unless that can't actually win the battle and it's the last straw, then they will break out the big guns, then they will use it. And that's the very same for every the other countries, because the other countries and America don't want to show each other what they actually have what they're capable of yet, basically.
Right. Yeah. The thing about war though is really that it's a money racket, isn't it? Like
Somebody make a machine.
it's like if the military industrial complex is going to produce a laser weapon that's just going to fucking destroy an enemy with one shot, well, then it's like that's not profitable.
There
You
we
know,
go.
they just want guys on both sides fucking using up a lot of guns and a lot of ammunition.
Rockets, guns, yeah, as you said,
Yeah.
and ammunition, tanks, anything that
Yeah.
makes money, anything that you build in bulk.
Yeah, and then they want to maximize destruction so that they can get the contracts to go in and then rebuild everything afterwards.
Yeah, like sure, like Afghanistan, they left all the weapons inside there, basically.
Yeah, they just
Well,
don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, and the Taliban have it.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
whole cover story was it would just cost too
Cost
much
too
to go in and
much.
extract
Well,
everything.
how much would it cost to destroy everything? Like,
Yeah.
you know, fuck all. Like, you
Um,
could have just destroyed everything and left if that was your problem. But it's nonsense. Like, it's just nonsense.
it's almost like they want, or the Democrats, I suppose. See, Trump didn't was saying it was the worst extraction of all time, and he's blaming the Democrats and Biden's administration, saying that it's like they wanted something to escalate with the Taliban
Mm.
by having the Taliban having the weaponry that was left there by the US,
Mm.
and for the US to go back in again, for the military industrial complex to fucking keep the cogs
Okay.
going and
Right, yeah,
people
yeah.
keep profiting on it. So didn't they say, like, I don't know what the fuck. But yeah, it's and didn't he ties the whole thing, so he's getting into remote viewing. It's all tied together, and yeah, I don't know. We must get someone on to talk to us about remote viewing, because we've talked to a few people and they said that they can do it.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, do you know
Um,
the thing? The remote viewing thing is mad. Like, you think like you could, if you can do that, then can you spy on everybody? You know, is there nobody that you can spy on? And then how easily would that be for, we'll say, learning secrets about other people? You know, like if how do I put this? Like if you had a team of remote viewers that could, go into a, let's just be simple about it. They want to rob a bank, then they just remote view their way in there. They see where all the cameras are. They see what all the pin
Yeah.
numbers required are. You know, something simple like that. But is it really real? Do you think?
I think it is.
Like this
I
fellas,
think it
they're
is.
saying that they're saying, yeah, I remote viewed to the fucking other side of the moon, and it's like,
The dark side of the
do you know,
moon.
how
Yeah.
have you not used this ability then to learn, secrets that can make you a lot of money? You know.
Supposedly there was, and I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but supposedly there was this guy very early on that he was able to basically predict the stock market through
Mm.
remote viewing.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was
And-
gonna say. Remote view to Nancy Pelosi's house and just listening
Yeah.
to her conversations and then buy what she buys.
Yeah, so supposedly this character, himself and the people with him, that they benefited hugely on it, profited a lot on it.
Is that
And
right?
and this director as well, when he was talking, he said he was talking to this one person that was able to remote view. I don't know, it wasn't for this actual Age of Disclosure documentary. It was just for something else. And now he's moving on to this new documentary on remote viewing. But he said that he tested this guy by being in a house that, I don't know, wasn't even the same country, but being in this room and standing a certain way and look at a certain object that no one could have known unless there was a camera inside there. And he said he had the whole place scuttered beforehand by a team to make sure there's no cameras in there. And your man basically remote viewed exactly what he was doing, what he was looking at, the kind of room he was in, the position he was standing or sitting in or something. So he said it basically proved that this fella could remote view. And then there's a story as well of this. It was a Russian ship or something that was that sank to the bottom of an ocean, and this person working with the Americans was able to remote view it, and they found it.
Man, did they do something like that in a Mission Impossible movie recently? Was that the theme from a Mission Impossible movie, looking for a submarine, Russian submarine? I think it is.
Yeah. That was a remote viewing, though. I'd say.
Oh,
Was it?
no, I haven't seen it. Yeah.
They did. No, but that was like an AI kind of. Yeah, that's actually cool. That new Mission Impossible movie is broken
Is it a
into
good
two
movie?
parts.
Yeah.
And they direct them.
Yeah.
It's good. The first part is brilliant. The second part is okay. I prefer the first part, but it's the whole idea that their grand big villain to finish off the whole thing is an AI. He's a sentient AI, and it
Yeah,
basically wants to destroy the whole world, reset the whole world.
Reset.
I lost you now with the internet.
You've lost me.
Oh, I hear you now again.
You working okay? She wanted to keep this short anyway tonight.
Yeah.
Are you up early tomorrow?
I was going to. I have no promise to watch a movie tonight.
Jesus, it's 12:30, man. You better get to it.
Yeah,
Fucking
come
hell.
here. I want to leave before we hit. I want to leave with this one, right? So I was listening there a couple of days ago. You should listen to it, lad. I told you about your man Ben Van Kerkwijk, yeah, from Uncharted X. We've talked about him before.
Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah.
So he's the guy. He's the guy that he was an engineer, or was he working? He was an IT. He was some engineer anyway. But basically, he has spent the last maybe 10 years, I think, of his life researching and working with these different engineers and going out to all these different ancient sites, looking at these megaliths, and basically trying to prove that a lot of these stones were cut with tools that the ancient, or that archaeology doesn't give credit for to the ancients. And he'd be going around checking for saw blades, and he'd be proving all this and proving the symmetrics of vases in around Egypt and all around the world at these ancient sites. And so his latest one that he's after finding out about, and it's not a new discovery. I think it was something that was found in texts very old texts, things that it was reported in them, and it was reported by not researchers, almost like archaeologists, rogue archaeologists or independent archaeologists back in like the 1800s or the 1900s. I think you'd have to go back now and listen to it. And basically the whole thing of it is there is this massive 50 meters, I think it is, 50-meter open room underneath the pyramids in Egypt. I think it's underneath the pyramids, and inside that there's a 40-meter long tic-tac shape object.
Right.
And supposedly this open labyrinth, it has massive, like obviously massive rocks from floor to ceiling inside there, and there's like a huge system of rooms inside there as well, and it's all these like tunnels that are interconnected underneath the pyramids, and there's tunnels from the Sphinx to the pyramids, and there's this whole subterranean thing that's underneath the pyramids, basically.
Right.
No, that's obviously given a fucking uneducated fucking description on it, but listen to the podcast, man. It's fucking unreal. And he was telling this story as well back in, I think, was it the early 2000s? Do you remember that guy? He was the main actor in the Planet of the Apes. Charlie Heston, isn't it? Charlie Heston?
Charles Heston. Yeah, it's Charles Heston. That'd be before my time too, John.
Yeah, but anyway, do you remember I was telling you there? It was last year. I watched the whole lot of the movies. They're fucking daft. But Charlie Heston, I think. But he was with John Anthony West, I think it was, and they were doing this episode on ancient Egypt, and they were saying belief that like it's lost technology, it's a lost ancient civilization back way longer than what's actually thought of than 4,000 years ago that were builders of these pyramids and all. And I think in one of the episodes that they go with Zahi Hawass and they go to this tunnel and there's footage of it at the back of the pyramid, or the back of the Sphinx, and they go down this ladder, and in this they made the agreement, look, we're going to record this, we're going to go down and we're going to release to the public. It'll be an exclusive, and it'll be you, Zahi, that'll be there showing the world. So they went down, and then so Zahi was down there, and he looked. He says, "There's nothing here. It's just rubble." He said, basically. But apparently there was more to it. Apparently that Zahi and someone else walked down, and they were down there for a good while. And apparently it was a tunnel, and supposedly underneath the Sphinx there's this massive chambers as well. But I think that guy that did the documentary, I don't think it was John Anthony West. Could have been someone else. It was John Anthony West. He did the Magical Egypt series, which I must actually watch some bit of it before I go to Egypt in a couple of weeks. But so this documentarian, we'll call him, that was with Zahi Hawass. So that he made the promise, look, I'll give you the footage there, I'll give you the story, it'll be breaking exclusive, I'll do it with you. And then your man said, great. So he went back home, this documentarian guy, was calling him, and he heard nothing from Zahi. Heard no contact with over like a year or something, and then he went to contact him again, and he said, what's going on? And he says, oh, and there was no contact at all, everything was blocked. So then either the same guy went back or someone else went to check, was the tunnel still there at the back, this little passageway at the back of the Sphinx, and it was all blocked up.
Yeah.
No, supposedly
yeah,
there's a great...
he's desperate to keep that official story anyway, so he'll
It's on
cooperate
his
with
book.
anyone who's going to help him.
It's on his book, sure.
Yeah, it's all in the book, yeah.
But supposedly there's this big, massive revelation that's going to be released out to the public this year, or in 2026. This new discovery in the pyramids, or the Great Pyramid, I think, that's going to be massive.
I won't hold my breath.
We won't hold our breath, yeah. To probably, yeah. I don't know.
I'd love it though. I'm waiting for something amazing to happen. Come on, like.
But supposedly as well, it takes like, if there's even a small discovery, it takes like years and years and years for it to get out into the public, because papers have to be written by archaeologists, they have to be peer reviewed, and it needs to pass all these different stages within the archaeology ring of Egypt and the antiquities and all that side of it. Before
Because they're just so desperate to make sure that the public don't get the wrong information.
But come here, like, if people found out that there's a massive fucking labyrinth underneath the pyramids, and there's this massive tunnel system, and if they could actually charge, if they wanted to, they could charge people 10,000 fucking euro to go and see them, private tours, that'd be massive for tourism. So I don't know why they're covering up all this, if there is stuff that is being covered up, because it'd be huge for the tourism.
Yeah, I think they're not going to. They don't care about. They care more about maintaining the official history of Earth. You know, they're not going to allow tourists in to see things that are going to paint a different picture of history.
Yeah, and it's like the likes of Zahi Hawass, who was the chief antiquity whatever for decades with Egypt, and he's like maybe the scapegoat in a way.
Yeah, gatekeeper.
Yeah. And people pointing the fingers at him and his people that he's involved with, even though it's probably gone way deeper than that.
Way deeper, yeah.
Even that's then associated with the Tartaria things and the mud flood and.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
I actually want to get into. There's this little clip about Bigfoot as well, but I'll leave it for the next one. Apparently, this man, and I only seen this today, this gentleman in his 60s, and he was out hunting, and he made this like he had this little interview. It was like he was inside in some shop, and he was basically recounting the story of him seeing this like Sasquatch figure.
I think I saw that. Did you send that to me or something? I think I saw it. Yeah,
I think I did. So yeah, it was like last week I sent it to you.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago maybe.
Yeah, it seemed genuine, but see, again, it's all hearsay. Like,
and did it happen to him years ago?
Years ago,
it wasn't something. Yeah. Yeah, he did seem genuine though.
He did seem genuine. He's
Like,
not making anything else
I mean, like if you saw Bigfoot, like how are you going to tell your mates? Do you know,
Yeah,
who's going to
exactly.
believe you? Everybody
And
thinks, that everyone's going to think you're just talking through your ass. Really, they're never going to give you a
yeah,
chance, especially if you've no evidence. And if you produce a video, sure, look, it could be AI. So there you go. It's all over.
it's all getting fucking. It's
Yeah,
all
wait,
getting a
wait
lot
till the
easier.
Epstein videos get released, and it's like
They're
it'll
all
be AI.
AI.
They'll throw AI into the mix it all up with AI as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
For sure. Look at we'll leave it there for this. We'll leave it there for this one.
All right, cool,
And
John.
yeah, sure. We might. I don't. We'll see. We might do one during the week. If not,
Yeah, when did you
if
say you're
not,
leaving? Saturday. You're back Saturday. Yeah, maybe we'll get one during
Saturday.
the week. Maybe Wednesday evening or Thursday or something like that. Sure, look, give me a text anyway.
We'll suss it out anyway.
Yeah, big
Right,
guest.
Niall.
Big guest coming next month.
Oh yeah, we'll be teasing now, will we?
Oh yeah, don't even tell them. Just all
Paul
right, so
Strong. Nephilim and clones.
yeah,
Wrap your head around that.
yeah. There's so much to talk to that guy about as well.
Yeah, he's into everything.
Yeah, the little season is very interesting as well. Are you familiar with that?
No,
The little season. Sure, we'll talk about it later.
grand. We're leaving that cliffhanger.
All right.
Nice
Okay,
one,
sound,
Niall.
John. Enjoy the movie.
Mind yourself, lad. Take
Talk
it
to you in a while.
easy.
Good luck.
Good luck, man. Bye bye.